Hello, my dear friend. I'm so glad you're here with me today. There's something beautiful about this moment we're sharing together, and I want you to know that your presence here is no accident. You've been drawn to this space because somewhere deep within you, there's a knowing that you have the power to create the life you truly desire. That knowing is calling to you, and today we're going to explore how to answer that call with love, with grace, and with the gentle strength that already lives within you. I understand that life may have brought you to this moment through various paths. Perhaps you've been feeling like there's something more waiting for you, something just beyond your current experience that feels so close you can almost taste it. Maybe you've tried different approaches to create change in your life, and while some things have shifted, you're still yearning for that deeper transformation, that sense of living in alignment with your heart's truest desires. Or perhaps you're feeling stuck, like you're moving through life but not really creating the experiences that would fill your soul with joy and satisfaction. Whatever has brought you here today, I want you to know that these feelings are completely natural and actually quite beautiful. They're signs that your spirit is ready to expand, ready to step into a larger version of yourself. The fact that you're seeking, that you're open to growth and change, tells me something wonderful about who you are. You're someone who believes in possibilities, even when they can't be seen with the physical eyes. You're someone who trusts that life can be more joyful, more abundant, more fulfilling than what you may be experiencing right now. Today, we're going to explore what I believe is one of the most profound truths of our existence: that you have within you the natural ability to manifest anything your heart truly desires. This isn't about magic or wishful thinking. This is about understanding the beautiful relationship between your inner world and your outer experience, and learning to work with the natural laws that govern how life unfolds. When I speak of manifestation, I'm talking about something much deeper than simply wanting things and hoping they'll appear. True manifestation is about aligning your entire being, your thoughts, your feelings, your beliefs, and your actions with the essence of what you desire to experience. It's about becoming a vibrational match for the good that you wish to receive. And at the heart of this process is something that may surprise you in its simplicity. It all begins with how you relate to yourself. You see, the universe is always responding to who you're being, not just what you're doing or saying. It's responding to the energy you carry, the beliefs you hold about yourself and your worth, and the love you have for the person you see in the mirror each morning. This is why some people seem to effortlessly attract wonderful experiences while others struggle despite working very hard. The difference lies not in their actions alone, but in their relationship with themselves and their fundamental beliefs about what they deserve. The beautiful truth is that you were born deserving of all good things. You didn't come into this world needing to earn love, abundance, joy, or fulfillment. These are your natural birthright. But somewhere along the way, many of us picked up ideas that suggested otherwise. We learned to believe that we had to be perfect, or accomplish certain things, or be different than we are in order to be worthy of our desires. These learned beliefs create resistance in our energy field, and this resistance is what blocks the natural flow of good into our lives. The process we're going to explore together is really about removing these blocks, these old ideas that no longer serve us, and returning to the truth of who we really are. When we align with our authentic self, the self that knows its own worth and trusts in the goodness of life, manifestation becomes as natural as breathing. It stops being something we have to force or struggle with and becomes a gentle unfolding of our highest good. Now, I want to be clear about something important. This work requires patience and gentleness with yourself. If you've been carrying limiting beliefs for years or even decades, They won't dissolve overnight, and that's perfectly fine. Transformation is a process, not a destination. Each small step you take toward greater self-love and self-acceptance is creating powerful shifts in your energy field, even when you can't see the immediate results in your external world. The foundation of everything we'll explore together rests on one simple but profound principle. You must first become your own best friend before you can truly receive the friendship of the universe. You must learn to speak to yourself with kindness before you can hear the loving voice of your inner wisdom. You must practice treating yourself with respect before you can expect respectful treatment from the world around you. This isn't about being perfect or never having another negative thought. It's about developing a loving awareness of your inner dialogue and gently guiding it toward thoughts that support your highest good. It's about recognizing that the relationship you have with yourself sets the template for every other relationship in your life, including your relationship with money, with opportunities, with love, and with all the experiences you desire to manifest. As we begin this journey together, I invite you to approach it with curiosity rather than judgment. Notice what comes up for you as we explore these concepts. If you find yourself thinking, "This sounds too simple," or "This could never work for me," simply observe those thoughts with compassion. They're just old programming trying to keep you safe in familiar territory. But today, we're stepping into new territory, the territory of your expanded potential. The most important thing I want you to understand is this: you already have everything you need within you to create the life of your dreams. We're not trying to add anything to who you are. We're simply removing the layers of conditioning that have been covering up your natural ability to attract and receive good. Think of this process like tending a beautiful garden that's been neglected for a while. The soil is still rich and fertile. The capacity for growth is still there. We just need to clear away the weeds and plant some new seeds. Every thought you think, every word you speak, every feeling you feel is creating your tomorrow. This is both a tremendous responsibility and an incredible gift. It means that no matter what your circumstances look like right now, you have the power to begin creating something different. You have the power to plant new seeds in the garden of your consciousness and to tend those seeds with love until they grow into the beautiful experiences you desire. The work of manifestation begins with the work of self-love, and the work of self-love begins with understanding that you are already worthy, already deserving, already enough exactly as you are right now. This isn't something you need to achieve or become. It's something you need to remember. And as you remember your own worth, as you begin to treat yourself with the love and respect you deserve, you create an energetic environment where your desires can take root and flourish. Your relationship with yourself is the most important relationship you'll ever have because it's the one that colors every other aspect of your life experience. When you truly love and accept yourself, you send a clear message to the universe that you're ready to receive love and acceptance from all of life. When you treat yourself with kindness and respect, you align with the energy of kindness and respect, and the universe responds by sending you experiences that match that energy. This isn't about becoming narcissistic or thinking you're better than others. True self-love is humble and inclusive. It recognizes that we're all connected, all deserving, all worthy of good things. When you heal your relationship with yourself, you actually become more capable of genuine love and service to others because you're no longer coming from a place of lack or need, but from a place of fullness and abundance. The journey of self-love often begins with becoming aware of how you currently speak to yourself throughout the day. Most of us have an internal critic that's quite active, pointing out our flaws, reminding us of our mistakes, telling us all the reasons why we can't have what we want. This voice often sounds like a compilation of all the critical voices we've heard throughout our lives, and it's become so familiar that we barely notice it's there. But here's what I want you to understand. This critical voice is not your true voice. It's not who you really are. It's just programming, like a radio station that's been playing the same sad songs for so long that you've forgotten you can change the channel. The beautiful truth is that you have the power to change the channel of your internal dialogue at any moment. You have the power to choose thoughts that support you rather than diminish you. This doesn't mean pretending that challenges don't exist or putting on a fake positive attitude. It means developing a loving, supportive inner voice that helps you navigate life's ups and downs with grace and wisdom. It means speaking to yourself the way you would speak to a beloved friend who was going through exactly what you're going through. When you begin to shift your internal dialogue from criticism to compassion, from judgment to understanding, from fear to love, you create a completely different energetic environment within your being. And this internal environment is what determines what you're able to attract and receive from the external world. The universe is always matching your inner state with corresponding outer experiences. Change your inner world, and your outer world must change to match it. This is why all lasting transformation begins from the inside out. You can't hate yourself into a version of yourself that you'll love. You can't criticize yourself into becoming someone worthy of your desires. You can only love yourself into the fullness of who you're meant to be. And as you do this inner work with patience and consistency, you'll begin to notice that opportunities seem to appear more easily, that people respond to you differently, that circumstances begin to align in your favor in ways that feel almost magical. The truth is, there's nothing magical about it at all. It's simply the natural result of aligning your energy with love instead of fear, with possibility instead of limitation, with trust instead of doubt. When you change the soil of your consciousness through self-love and self-acceptance, you create the perfect conditions for your desires to grow and flourish naturally. Think of your consciousness as a beautiful garden space that's been given to you to tend. This garden has unlimited potential, rich soil, and perfect conditions for growth. But over the years, perhaps some weeds have taken root. These weeds represent the limiting beliefs, the negative self-talk, the doubts and fears that have grown in the garden of your mind. Now, you might look at these weeds and feel overwhelmed, thinking the garden is ruined. But that's not true at all. The soil is still rich and fertile. The capacity for growth is still completely intact. All that's needed is some gentle tending, some loving attention to clear away what no longer serves and plant seeds of what you truly desire to experience. And just like a physical garden, this process takes time, consistency, and patience. You don't plant a seed and expect a full-grown plant the next day. You trust the process of growth. You water your seeds regularly, and you have faith that the natural laws of growth are working even when you can't see immediate results. In the garden of your consciousness, your thoughts are the seeds you plant each day. Every thought is a seed that has the potential to grow into an experience. This is why it's so important to become conscious of what kinds of thoughts you're planting. Are you planting seeds of possibility, of gratitude, of self-love, of trust in your ability to create good in your life? Or are you unconsciously planting seeds of worry, of self-doubt, of limitation, of fear about the future? The beautiful thing about understanding this principle is that it puts you back in the driver's seat of your life experience. You're not a victim of circumstances. You're the gardener of your own consciousness. And just like any skill, the ability to tend your mental and emotional garden with wisdom gets stronger with practice. Each time you choose a loving thought over a fearful one, each time you choose to speak to yourself with kindness rather than criticism, you're strengthening your ability to create the life you truly desire. This doesn't mean you'll never have another negative thought or challenging emotion. That's not realistic or even desirable. Difficult emotions often carry important messages and can guide us toward necessary changes in our lives. The key is learning to observe all of your thoughts and feelings with compassion, to welcome them without being controlled by them, and to consciously choose which thoughts you want to water and tend with your attention and energy. When you find yourself thinking thoughts that don't support your highest good, you don't need to fight them or judge yourself for having them. You can simply notice them with kind awareness and gently redirect your attention toward thoughts that feel better and serve you more. This is like weeding a garden. You remove the weeds not with violence or anger, but with gentle, consistent attention that allows the desired plants to thrive. As we continue tending this beautiful garden of consciousness together, we come to one of the most important aspects of creating space for your desires to flourish: the gentle art of releasing what no longer serves you. Just as a gardener must remove the weeds that compete with the flowers for nutrients and space, you must lovingly release the old beliefs, resentments, and patterns that are taking up valuable energy in your inner landscape. Now, when I talk about limiting beliefs, I'm referring to those deep-seated ideas about yourself and life that create barriers to receiving good. These beliefs often sound like, "I'm not smart enough," "I don't deserve to be happy," "Good things don't happen to people like me," or "I have to struggle to get anywhere in life." These thoughts may feel true because you've been thinking them for so long, but the beautiful truth is that they're just thoughts, and thoughts can be changed. Many of these limiting beliefs were formed when you were very young, when your mind was like soft clay, easily shaped by the words and actions of those around you. Perhaps someone told you that you weren't good at something, or that you should be grateful for what you have and not ask for more. Maybe you learned to believe that wanting things for yourself was selfish, or that you had to prove your worth through achievement and performance. These beliefs were formed in innocence, often by people who were simply passing on the limitations they had learned, but they don't have to govern your life anymore. The process of identifying these beliefs requires gentle self-observation. Notice what thoughts automatically arise when you consider having more money, more love, more joy, or more of whatever it is your heart desires. Do you immediately think of reasons why it's not possible for you? Do you feel a tightening in your chest or stomach? Do you hear a voice telling you to be realistic or not get your hopes up? These responses are clues that you've bumped into a limiting belief, and rather than seeing this as a problem, you can celebrate it as an opportunity for liberation. One of the most powerful tools for releasing old patterns is the practice of forgiveness. Now, forgiveness doesn't mean condoning harmful behavior or pretending that painful experiences didn't happen. Forgiveness is a gift you give to yourself. It's the decision to stop carrying the heavy energy of resentment, anger, or hurt, because you realize that holding on to these feelings is preventing you from moving forward into the joy that's waiting for you. Often, the person we most need to forgive is ourselves. We carry guilt and shame about past mistakes, about times we didn't know better, about choices we made when we were operating from fear or pain. But holding on to self-blame is like trying to drive forward while constantly looking in the rearview mirror. It keeps you stuck in the past and prevents you from seeing the beautiful possibilities that exist in this moment. Forgiveness is not a one-time event, but an ongoing practice of releasing and letting go. Each time you notice yourself holding on to old hurts or judgments, you can gently breathe and say, "I am willing to release this. I choose peace instead of this pain." You don't have to feel completely ready to forgive. You just have to be willing, and that willingness opens the door for healing to begin. as you practice releasing old hurts and resentments, you create space in your energy field for new possibilities to enter. Think of it like cleaning out a closet that's been stuffed full of clothes you never wear. Once you remove what no longer fits or serves you, there's suddenly room for beautiful new things to come into your life. The same is true with your consciousness. As you release old grievances and limiting beliefs, you make space for love, abundance, opportunity, and joy to flow more freely. There's a simple but powerful breathing practice that can help you with this releasing process. When you notice that you're holding tension around an old hurt or limitation, take a deep breath in and imagine that you're breathing in peace and healing. As you exhale, imagine that you're breathing out the old pain, the old story, the old belief that no longer serves you. With each breath, you're literally changing the energy in your body and creating space for something new and beautiful to take root. Remember, you don't have to analyze or understand every limiting belief before you can release it. Sometimes the mind wants to figure everything out, to understand exactly where a belief came from and why you developed it. While this can sometimes be helpful, it's not always necessary. You can simply notice that a thought or belief doesn't feel good or doesn't support your highest good, and choose to let it go with love and gratitude for whatever protection or service it may have provided in the past. Creating space for new possibilities also means becoming aware of how you spend your mental and emotional energy throughout the day. If you're constantly rehashing old problems, worrying about things you can't control, or focusing on what's wrong in your life, you're using up the energy that could be directed toward creating what you desire. This isn't about suppressing difficult emotions or pretending problems don't exist. It's about learning to address challenges from a place of centered calm rather than anxious reactivity, and choosing to give more attention to solutions and possibilities than to problems and limitations. Once you've begun the gentle work of releasing what no longer serves you, you can start the joyful process of consciously planting new seeds in the fertile soil of your consciousness. This is where you become the deliberate creator of your experience, choosing thoughts and beliefs that support the life you desire to live. The art of aligned thinking is really about learning to choose thoughts that feel good and move you in the direction of your desires, rather than thoughts that create resistance or take you further away from what you want. This doesn't mean pretending that everything is perfect when it's not, or forcing yourself to think positive thoughts when you're genuinely upset. It means gently guiding your mind toward thoughts that are both truthful and supportive. For example, if you're struggling financially, an aligned thought might be, "I am learning to manage money more wisely," or "I am open to new opportunities for abundance," rather than "I'll never have enough money," or "rich people are greedy." The aligned thoughts acknowledge your current situation while opening the door for positive change, whereas the limiting thoughts close the door and reinforce the very conditions you want to change. There's an important difference between forcing positive thoughts and allowing naturally supportive thoughts to emerge. Forcing feels like putting pressure on yourself to think a certain way, often accompanied by a sense of strain or effort. Allowing feels more like gently turning your attention toward thoughts that feel lighter, more expansive, more hopeful. It's like the difference between forcing a flower to bloom and creating the right conditions for it to bloom naturally. When you're learning to think in more aligned ways, it's helpful to have some core thoughts or affirmations that you can return to throughout the day. These aren't magical incantations, but rather gentle reminders of truth that help redirect your mind when it starts to wander into limiting territory. Some beautiful examples might be, "I am worthy of all good things. Life is always working in my favor. I trust my ability to create positive change," or "I am open to receiving my highest good in perfect timing." The key to working with these supportive thoughts is to choose ones that feel authentic and believable to you right now. If "I am wealthy" feels too far from your current reality to be believable, you might start with "I am learning to attract more abundance," or "I am worthy of financial prosperity." The goal is to find thoughts that feel both true and uplifting, that stretch you gently toward your desires without creating internal resistance. Daily thought-tending practices are like watering and fertilizing the seeds you've planted in your consciousness. Just as a gardener doesn't plant seeds and then forget about them, you want to consistently nurture the new thoughts and beliefs you're cultivating. This might mean starting your day by reading or repeating supportive thoughts, taking moments throughout the day to notice and redirect limiting thoughts, or ending your day by appreciating the progress you've made and setting positive intentions for tomorrow. One of the most effective ways to tend your thoughts is to become aware of the difference between thoughts that expand you and thoughts that contract you. Expansive thoughts make you feel more open, hopeful, and energized. Contractive thoughts make you feel closed off, hopeless, or drained. Your body is an excellent guide for this. Thoughts that support your highest good generally make your body feel more relaxed and open, while limiting thoughts often create tension, tightness, or heaviness in your physical being. As you practice choosing more aligned thoughts, you'll begin to notice that your emotional state starts to shift as well. This brings us to a crucial understanding. Your emotions are like the water that helps your mental seeds grow into physical experiences. Just as a gardener must water their plants for them to thrive, you must tend to your emotional state for your desires to manifest in your external world. Emotions are energy in motion, and they carry tremendous creative power. When you feel genuinely grateful, appreciative, joyful, or loving, you're sending out a powerful signal to the universe that says, "More of this, please." When you're consistently feeling anxious, resentful, or discouraged, you're sending out a signal that attracts more experiences to feel anxious, resentful, or discouraged about. This doesn't mean you should suppress difficult emotions or pretend to feel good when you don't. Authentic emotion is always more powerful than manufactured emotion. What it means is that you want to learn to process difficult emotions in healthy ways so they don't get stuck in your system, and you want to cultivate genuine appreciation and positive anticipation for the good that's coming into your life. One of the most powerful emotional states for manifestation is gratitude. When you feel truly grateful for what you already have, you align with the energy of abundance rather than lack. You're acknowledging that good things do come to you, that life does support you, that you are already blessed in many ways. This creates the perfect emotional environment for more blessings to flow into your experience. Gratitude isn't about pretending that everything in your life is perfect. It's about finding the authentic appreciation that exists right now, even in the midst of challenges. Maybe you're grateful for your health, for a friend who listens, for a beautiful sunset, for the fact that you're learning and growing. As you practice finding things to genuinely appreciate, you'll discover that there's actually quite a lot to feel good about. And this positive emotional momentum naturally attracts more positive experiences. Another beautiful emotional state for manifestation is the feeling of joyful anticipation. This is different from desperate wanting or anxious hoping. Joyful anticipation feels like the excitement a child feels on Christmas morning, knowing that good things are coming, but not attached to exactly what form they'll take. It's a feeling of trust and excitement about the future, a sense that life is unfolding in wonderful ways even when you can't see all the details yet. The difference between joyful anticipation and desperate wanting is that anticipation comes from a place of abundance and trust, while desperate wanting comes from a place of lack and fear. When you desperately want something, there's an underlying belief that you don't have it and might never get it. When you joyfully anticipate something, there's an underlying trust that good things are naturally flowing toward you, and it's just a matter of time before they appear in your experience. Cultivating these positive emotional states is like creating the perfect weather conditions for your garden. Just as plants thrive in warm sunshine and gentle rain, your desires thrive in the emotional atmosphere of gratitude, appreciation, love, and joyful anticipation. The more time you spend in these feeling states, the more you align with the energy of receiving, and the easier it becomes for your desires to manifest in your physical experience. One of the most challenging yet essential aspects of manifestation is learning to trust the timing of the universe. This is where many people stumble because we live in a world that often values immediate results and instant gratification. But the universe operates on a different timeline than our human impatience, and learning to align with divine timing is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself in this manifestation journey. When you plant a seed in your garden, you don't dig it up every day to check if it's growing. You trust the natural process of growth, knowing that the seed is doing exactly what it needs to do beneath the surface, even when you can't see any evidence of progress. The same principle applies to the desires you've planted in the garden of your consciousness. There's often a period of invisible growth happening before anything appears in your physical experience, and this is where trust becomes your greatest ally. Divine timing isn't about the universe making you wait for arbitrary reasons or testing your patience. It's about the intricate orchestration of circumstances, people, and opportunities that need to align for your desires to manifest in the most beneficial way possible. Sometimes what feels like a delay is actually the universe arranging things so perfectly that when your desire does manifest, it comes with additional blessings you never even thought to ask for. Think about times in your past when something you wanted didn't happen when you expected it to, but when it finally did occur, you could see that the timing was actually perfect. Perhaps you didn't get a job you really wanted, only to find a much better opportunity a few months later. Or maybe a relationship ended at what felt like the worst possible time, but it freed you to meet someone who was truly right for you. These experiences teach us that there's a wisdom in the unfolding of life that our limited human perspective can't always see. Learning to work with divine timing means developing faith in the process even when you can't see the results. It means trusting that your desires are valid and that the universe is working behind the scenes to bring them to you in the perfect way and at the perfect time. This doesn't mean sitting back passively and doing nothing. It means taking inspired action when it feels right, while remaining unattached to controlling exactly how and when things unfold. There are beautiful signs that your manifestations are on their way, even when they haven't appeared in physical form yet. You might notice that your mood has shifted and you feel more optimistic about the future. You might start having dreams or receiving intuitive insights related to your desires. You might encounter people or information that seems relevant to what you're creating. You might feel a sense of peace and knowing that everything is working out, even if you can't explain why. These signs are like the first green shoots appearing in your garden, letting you know that growth is happening even if the full flowering hasn't occurred yet. When you learn to recognize and appreciate these subtle indicators, you can maintain your positive momentum and trust in the process, rather than becoming discouraged by the apparent absence of immediate results. Patience in this context isn't about passive waiting or resigned acceptance. It's an active form of faith, a trust in the goodness of life and your own worthiness to receive good things. It's the understanding that everything unfolds in perfect timing when you align with the flow of life rather than fighting against it. This kind of patience actually accelerates manifestation because it removes the resistance that comes from anxiety and impatience. To support this trust in divine timing, you can develop daily practices that keep you aligned with the energy of your desires while remaining present to the goodness that's available right now. These practices help you maintain the positive emotional and mental states that are conducive to manifestation while building your faith in the process. Starting each morning with a few minutes of quiet reflection can set the tone for your entire day. This might involve reading something inspirational, spending time in gratitude for what's already present in your life, or simply sitting quietly and connecting with the peaceful presence within you. Morning practices help you approach your day from a centered, positive state rather than immediately jumping into worry or busyness. A beautiful morning practice is to spend a few moments visualizing your desires as if they've already manifested, feeling the emotions you would feel if your dreams were your current reality. This isn't about forcing or straining to believe something that feels untrue. It's about gently connecting with the essence of what you desire and allowing yourself to feel the joy, gratitude, and satisfaction that would naturally accompany its fulfillment. Throughout your day, you can practice what I like to call gentle vigilance with your thoughts and emotions. This means paying loving attention to your internal state without being harsh or critical with yourself. When you notice that you've slipped into worry, doubt, or negativity, you can gently redirect your attention to thoughts and feelings that support your highest good. This becomes easier with practice and eventually becomes as natural as breathing. Evening practices are equally important for maintaining your manifestation momentum. Before you go to sleep, you can review your day with appreciation, acknowledging the good things that happened and the progress you made, no matter how small. You can also set positive intentions for the following day and visualize yourself moving through tomorrow with grace, confidence, and joy. Journaling is one of the most powerful tools for manifestation because it helps you clarify your desires, process your emotions, and track your progress over time. When you write down your thoughts and feelings, you create space to examine them more objectively and choose more consciously which ones you want to nurture. You can write about your desires as if they've already manifested, expressing gratitude for their fulfillment and describing how wonderful it feels to be living your dreams. Mirror work is another profound practice that directly addresses the foundation of all manifestation, your relationship with yourself. When you look into your own eyes in the mirror and speak words of love, appreciation, and encouragement to yourself, you're literally rewiring your neural pathways and changing your relationship with receiving good things. This might feel awkward at first, but it becomes one of the most healing and empowering practices you can develop. Creating a physical environment that supports your manifestation goals helps reinforce your positive intentions throughout the day. This might mean keeping inspiring books or quotes where you can see them, surrounding yourself with colors and objects that make you feel good, or creating a small space in your home that's dedicated to your spiritual practice and growth. Even with all these practices and understanding, there will be times when your manifestations feel stuck or delayed, and this is completely normal and natural. These moments aren't signs that you're doing something wrong or that your desires aren't meant to be. They're often opportunities for deeper growth, course corrections, or simply pauses that allow other elements to fall into place. When things feel stuck, the first thing to examine is whether you're trying to control the process too tightly. Sometimes our attachment to exactly how something should happen or when it should occur creates resistance that actually slows down the manifestation. The universe often has ways of delivering our desires that are far more creative and beneficial than anything we could have planned, but we have to be open to receiving them in unexpected forms. Doubt and impatience are natural parts of the human experience, and you don't need to judge yourself for having these feelings. Instead, You can work with them lovingly by acknowledging them without being controlled by them. When doubt arises, you can gently remind yourself of all the good things that have already manifested in your life, proving that you do indeed have the power to create positive experiences. Sometimes what feels like a delay is actually a divine redirection, guiding you towards something even better than what you originally thought you wanted. The universe sees the bigger picture of your life and knows what will truly serve your highest good in the long run. Staying open to this possibility allows you to receive gifts and opportunities that you might otherwise miss if you were too rigidly focused on one specific outcome. During challenging times, it's especially important to return to the foundation of self-love and self-care. Often when manifestations feel stuck, it's because we've slipped back into old patterns of self-criticism or have stopped treating ourselves with the love and respect we deserve. Gentle course corrections usually involve returning to the basics of speaking kindly to yourself, appreciating what's already good in your life, and trusting in your inherent worthiness. As we come to the completion of our time together, I want you to fully embrace the magnificent truth of who you are and what you're capable of creating. You are not a victim of circumstances, waiting for life to happen to you. You are a powerful co-creator with the universe, equipped with everything you need to manifest a life filled with joy, abundance, love, and fulfillment. The ability to manifest your desires isn't a special gift reserved for a chosen few. It's your natural birthright, as natural as breathing or the beating of your heart. You came into this world with this power intact, and though it may have been covered over by years of conditioning and limiting beliefs, it has never left you. Every moment offers you a fresh opportunity to remember who you really are and to align with the creative force that flows through you. Your worthiness is not something you need to earn or prove. It's not dependent on your past mistakes, your current circumstances, or your future achievements. You are worthy of all good things simply because you exist, simply because you are a beautiful expression of life itself. The sooner you can accept this truth, the sooner you can stop struggling against your own good and start allowing it to flow to you naturally. The practices we've explored together are not complicated formulas or rigid rules. They're gentle invitations to return to your natural state of love, trust, and creative power. Some days you'll remember to use them consistently, and some days you'll forget. Both are perfectly fine. This is a journey of growth and expansion, not perfection. Every small step you take toward greater self-love and positive thinking is creating ripples of change that extend far beyond what you can see. Remember that manifestation is not about getting things to make you happy. True manifestation is about becoming so aligned with love and joy that beautiful experiences naturally flow into your life as a reflection of your inner state. When you focus first on feeling good, on treating yourself with kindness, on appreciating what's already present in your life, the external manifestations become the beautiful bonus rather than the desperate necessity. I want you to know that I have complete faith in your ability to create the life of your dreams. I've seen too many people transform their lives through the power of love and positive thinking to doubt for even a moment that these principles work. The only question is whether you're willing to be patient and gentle with yourself as you learn to apply them consistently. You have everything within you right now to begin creating positive change in your life. You don't need to wait until you feel ready, until circumstances are perfect, or until you have more knowledge. You can start right now, in this moment, by choosing one loving thought about yourself, by finding one thing to appreciate in your current situation, by speaking one kind word to the person you see in the mirror. Your desires matter. Your dreams are valid. Your happiness is important. The world needs the unique gifts and contributions that only you can offer, and those gifts flourish when you're living in alignment with your highest joy. As you heal your relationship with yourself and learn to trust in the goodness of life, you become a beacon of possibility for others who are still struggling to remember their own power. The journey of manifestation is really the journey of remembering who you truly are, a beloved child of the universe, worthy of all good things, capable of creating beauty and joy wherever you go. This is not just a nice thought or positive affirmation. This is the deepest truth of your being, and the more you align with this truth, the more your external life will reflect it back to you. Trust the process. Trust yourself. Trust the love that brought you into being and continues to guide your steps. Your highest good is already on its way to you, orchestrated by a universe that knows exactly what you need and when you need it. All you need to do is keep your heart open, your thoughts positive, and your faith strong. The rest will unfold beautifully in perfect divine timing. And so it is, and so you are, blessed, beloved, and powerful beyond measure.